If you've ever finished a mix and thought, why does this still sound so disconnected? Like the drums are over here, the vocals are over here, and the whole thing just isn't gluing together. It's likely because you're missing the most important and overlooked part of a great mix, bus compression. And today I'm going to show you why that glue matters, how it can transform your mix, and why the XBus plugin might be the one piece you didn't know that you were missing. Hi everyone, my name is Luke and I'm super excited to be here at Studio A in Las Vegas and here on the Kiive Audio YouTube channel to showcase the new XBus plugin. VCA type compressors are known to be the engineer's cheat code due to how smooth and musical they sound, and are coined as glue compressors because they seem to bring things together but also add a lot of depth to the picture as a whole. These are commonly used on instrument buses like drums, vocal buses, and most famously on the mix bus itself. Lots of high-end consoles in major studios will have them late in the signal chain so you can print the compression back into your DAW, but these days many producers and engineers have gravitated towards the in-the-box approach to avoid having to actually recall or just re-record the mix back into the DAW every time you need to change something. So let's dive into a mix session and I'm going to really show you how XBus can take your mix over the finish line. All right, and this is my mix session here for a song I'm working on with my friend Megan. I'm going to go ahead and just loop a section here so we can just hear how it sounds as is.
Outlined by the silhouette of what we could have been. We merry-go-round instead and watch it burn down.
All right, so immediately I'm hearing kind of a disconnect between the low-end instruments, the drums, and then the vocals. And I think I've gotten it really close to where I like it just in the mix alone, but I think some glue to kind of hold this all together could be of benefit to us. So I'm going to go ahead and load up the Kiive Audio XBus plugin. All right, so here's the XBus plugin. So when you open it as of now, you're going to have your left and your right channels, which are linked. I'm going to be working with these, but I don't need to see both because I know that they're linked. So I'm going to hit this little arrow here next to the AB. And look how simple and amazing that is. Awesome. And now let's dial in some mix bus settings.
Outlined by the silhouette of what we could have been. We merry-go-round instead and watch it burn down. Outlined by the silhouette of what we could have been. We merry-go-round instead and watch it burn down. Outlined by the silhouette of what we could have been. We merry-go-round instead and watch it burn down. Outlined by the silhouette.
So one of the first things that I did was turn on the attack and release mods. What these allow you to do is actually turn off the stepped mode and have just more fine adjustment. I wanted to slow down that attack and let those drums actually come through because if you speed it up too much, you can kind of get your drums to be a little bit choky sounding. I'll show you an example of that here.
Outlined by the silhouette of what we could have been. We merry-go-round instead and watch it burn.
And as you could hear as I sped up the attack, the drums had a little bit less aggression to them and they were cutting through the mix a little bit less. And then we start going from the glue territory to goo territory. So just be really careful with that. Listen with your ears and just kind of find the sweet spot. And then by default, the link is on here. That's kind of an auto gain feature to make it so you're not like tricking yourself and making your mix louder. I'm going to go down to the advanced section here and we're going to mess with some saturation. Go ahead and turn that on.
Outlined by the silhouette of what we could have been. We merry-go-round instead and watch it burn down. Outlined by the silhouette of what we could have been. We merry-go-round instead and watch it burn down. Outlined by the silhouette of what we could have been. We merry-go-round instead and watch it burn down. Outlined by the silhouette of what we could have been. We merry-go-round instead.
So I really like what the saturation did here. I added some odd harmonics, which are kind of like your, I wouldn't say ugly, I'll say aggressive harmonics that you would add to kind of bring out some of that grit. And then the even ones are the ones that kind of sound musical and are a little bit more soothing to the ear. I dialed back the mix to about 90% just to kind of even it out after I locked in the sound that I liked. And then I left the mix on pre, but you can actually add the saturation in after the compression if you wanted to. I added it in beforehand, which is the default on pre. But if you hit post, it's actually going to make it so your saturation happens after the compression happens. And then you have the sidechain section up here, and you're actually able to say like, hey, compressor, don't compress these frequencies here. And you can adjust your filters and even audition them to hear what you're actually working with. I'm not going to do that here, but I could see this to be very, very advantageous with instrument buses and things like that. I just realized I've been using the non-edited vocal comp. So if you hear a mouth noise, mind your business. And now I could probably drive this compressor just a little bit harder. I'm actually going to show you how that sounds here.
Outlined by the silhouette of what we could have been. We merry-go-round instead and watch it burn down.
And of course, it's totally mix dependent, but on my mix bus, I typically go for like 1 to 3 dB of gain reduction just to kind of glue things together. And this sounds really good. I think we should do a before and after comparison here.
Outlined by the silhouette of what we could have been. We merry-go-round instead and watch it burn down. Outlined by the silhouette of what we could have been. We merry-go-round instead and watch it burn down.
Everything feels just way more cohesive now, way more glued together. I really like the aggression and just the grit that the saturation brought out. It kind of just added some character to my mix that I didn't think I'd be adding this late into the mixing stages, but I love how it sounds. I'm really happy with this. It's a super easy compressor to use. I can't wait to try it on drums and just instrument buses, but it is an absolute monster on the mix bus. And just for sharts and giggles, I want to go through and just kind of turn it off and on so you can see how drastic the difference is.
Red stains on your cigarette, smell of liquor on your breath. Fake friends from the internet, they bind you down. Outlined by the silhouette of what we could have been. We merry-go-round instead and watch it burn down.
Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you to Kiive for having me. And I encourage you all to go try XBus for yourself. There is a free trial at kiiveaudio.com. Please like and subscribe. And yeah, hope to see you again here on the Kiive Audio channel. Again, my name is Luke. It's been my pleasure. I'll see you guys next time.